I wrote this song after God healed me of a 13-year cocaine addiction and an alcoholic since I was 14. You can't tell me what God can't do.
My name is Jermaine J. Williams. I go by Maine the Baptist. And this is I Had to Change.
I had to change before I start praying at night. Things just stayed the same, so I had to change.
My cousin, Jermaine Maine Williams, I'm talking about, born December 24th, 1981. That's in the city of Pensacola.
It was rough growing up. It was a lot of us in a duplex. My mom, my brother, my 2 aunts, at times 3, my grandmother.
That was like my second home. And, that's where Maine came up. And, we had a lot of love. We was a close-knit family.
Emmett Smith is from our neighborhood. We all grew up, we wanted to be Emmett Smith. We'll go outside, we'll play football. But before we can even start the football game, we had to clear out the heroin needles in the backyard and then play football. It was rough. But when you into my grandmama's house, you wasn't in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandmama grew up Metropolitan Baptist churches, like one of them old school churches, you know what I'm saying? I was watching In the Heat of the Night last night, and it was kind of like one of them churches on there. But it was pretty cool, man, growing up there, because you learn a lot of hard lessons. My aunt, one of my aunts exposed me to Malcolm X at a young age, because I lost my dad at 6, so she was like, hey, you're going to need a strong father figure, Bill, threw me the final calls, all kind of stuff. So, I read up on a lot of Malcolm X, and from then on, man, that man has been like a father from the grave.
My granny used to live in Morris Court, but she had a house built on East Street. Well, Christmas of 93 going into 94, Jermaine and them got a camcorder. And so we started rapping. We started doing music together.
I remember 1994, never forget, Bone Thugs and Harmony came out. Oh man, I want to be Bone, man. And I started rapping, I was rapping like them and dressing like them.
We really listened to, Goody Mob, Wu-Tang, Bone Thugs, you know what I'm talking about? So we wanted to be on that type of caliber. So, and that was what Foul Play was. We was going to give you the best rap, the best music that we could. We did decide, that we want to take this rap thing serious, because it seems like Pensacola, the ideal of having a Pensacola rap scene was starting. And then they was actually finally including rap into the different talent shows and open mics.
So I'm Jabril. I'm one of Jermaine's cousins. I've known him for many years. I used to walk over from high school, from PHS, walk over to the house and all, and what was that? Just 9th grade, so forth. So I understand what everybody was doing with the rap career and everything. One of the things that as I moved through life and stuff, I was never a drug user.
14, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drank. I had my first beer at 14, threw my guts up, Old English. Ugh. Yeah, that Old English, man, OE. I got my cousins. One of my cousins, Damien Johnson, he was a producer. Young like me, he was producing like real well. And my older cousin Adrian got all of us and a childhood friend who was nothing but family, Kevin Robinson, and my older cousin Joshua Johnson. We came together, we created Foul Play, the rap group.
We came together, we said, man, we gonna shake the city up.
And the first thing we did when we hit the scene was our Washington talent show, which would later become my high school alma mater. Our biggest talent show in the city. And we came up there and we wrecked. I mean, I had my back then Dickies was in. I had my Dickies suit on, my Bone Thugs looks. And Adrian, he always had the element of surprise, and we surprised everybody, like, and came out, and I just hit the door.
If you from the east side of Pensacola, I can just say this: that talent show, the Booker T. Washington talent show, was everything. And we was the first rap group in '97. We got in talent show again. First rap group to ever place in a Booker T. Washington talent show. Yeah, and then 1999, it was me and Jermaine. It was just us. We performed. We was the first rap group to get #1 on the Booker T. Washington High School.
Everybody went crazy. It was cool, man. And then from that point on, we was known as for real rappers. I mean, like, serious in the city.
The Black Market album. We dropped that our senior year. Well, me and Jermaine senior year in high school, you know what I'm talking about. And it took off from the east side. We had it in Sam Goody, you know what I'm talking about. And it just, a lot of folks start hearing it and they start buying it. And then that album took off.
We came out with the album, it was April the 4th. I'll never forget, Big Pun came out. Our name was right there underneath Big Pun. I was like, man, that's crazy, man. So, you know, they had our CD out to listen, and this would let you know it was real. I was in high school my 12th grade year. People I had second period with, my business teacher, and she's still my mentor, Miss Carla Ross, she asked us to come in and to help her out with something. We sat down and we talked with her. And I looked down and looked back up, it was a line of people with our posters for our autographs. I'm like, wow, I got fifth period with you. Like, you know, it's crazy. It was blown away. Big talent shows. Me and my cousin Josh, we were still in high school. We came out on that big stage and we had people just holding our posters up. I had to stop. I don't know about Josh. I stopped in my tracks just to take it all in. Never seen nothing like it, man. You know, never experienced nothing like it to this day. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, Foul Play Black Market. It was really gave us our respect, and yeah, and it was cool that we was, you know, in high school at Booker T. Washington, and we had a base of where people can buy and support, and we was selling them $10 a pop. Like we sold over 100, you know, the first 2 days, you know, so we had over $1,000 our first 2 days of having that album, you know, and that was out the trunk, and that wasn't including Sam Goody sales where we sold out and we had to keep on re-upping, you know, at Sam Goody. That was an awesome time. That was when the money was good. The money was good in the rap game. You know what I'm talking about. Not so much now, but the money is awesome. That was when the money was good.
I was a likable, unlikable person. I was the most liked, unlikable person. And it was crazy. Created a lot of beef, always stayed in fights. I was real athletic, really fast, like really, really fast. But could never been on the football team, basketball team, because we was always fighting them guys. I never forget when I was in the Scambia, what got me kicked out of my one high school that led me to Washington. Me and my brother, we had a problem with the basketball team. We interrupted their basketball practice. I never forget, they was in the 2-3 defense, and we walked right in the middle of that 2-3 defense, asked them what y'all boys wanted to do. And my grandmama looked at the referral and she read it to us, and the coach read on the referral. It looked like a scene out of a movie. I mean, we was fearless. We was fearless. We didn't care. We rode around with Mossberg 12 gauge, one in the chamber, ready to go in the trunk. We was the smallest clique. We was the smallest people. We were family, but we were ready to fight. And I was the most hated out the bunch.
Maine was a great person, had a great personality, you know what I'm talking about. You know, he attracted a lot of people, a lot of attention, you know what I'm saying. Performing, you know, he had that charisma, you know what I'm saying. A lot of the ladies, you know, liked it what we did when we performed. You know, and so, you know, a lot of cats, you know, a lot of the beef behind women was behind, you know, women jocking, cheering for us and stuff. And, you know, some cats, whether it's school dudes or street cats, man, you eyeballing my woman, man, what it is. And so we always, you know, we got into beef behind some of the silliest avoidable things. We wasn't going to be punked, but, you know, we tried our best to minimize beef, you know what I'm talking about, as much as we reasonably could. You know what I'm saying? So
50-50. Regardless, you're going to hear it from me. You know what I'm saying? And just a lot of fights, a lot of embarrassing moments, a lot of put me on the pedestal moments, you know. That's what happened when you got a lot of pride. The bigger the pride, the bigger the fall.
there was beef during that time. We got into us, you know, being from the east side. A lot of times if we'll perform in another area, you know, hey, there go the east side cats, and we'll have to uphold a lot of they beef. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't have nothing to do with stuff, but you know that came with the job of just going and being passionate and pursuing your dream. When you're pursuing your dream, you know you're gonna go through paying dues and deal with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Things got crazy though, as far as the drugs and alcohol. Start getting into graduating from alcohol and weed and going into ecstasy. Man, was rolling hard almost every night. Drinking alcohol, like being up for 3 days straight.
Maine yo, as the plot thickens, shit getting crazy, shit getting real, You dig that? A foul play. You know this shit was so motherfucking hard from 8 measures. I just had to say something, you know what I'm saying? So look, 241 man Morris Court downtown Pensacola. My work is my turf, my hurt is my dirt. But please don't get it twisted, I'm ready to bust first. Mr. Thicker, the nigga, deliver the unwanted. My weaponry is a luxury, don't make a nigga flaunt it. Co-control, I stay blunted. Money comes so abundant. If you did it, bitch, we done it. Ain't no question, no who run it.
Just rolling, going to the clubs. I mean, like living a rock star life. We would be rapping. We would open up for big names like UGK, 8-Ball MJG, you name it. We was on the road. Trina, man, I can't even think. It was so many big names. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Busy Bone, Paul Wall, Chameleon now, whatever. Drugs. I can't even remember half of it.
You know, boxing champ Roy Jones Jr. At that time, 2002, 2003, 2004, and he had the boxing game on Smash, straight from Pensacola, Florida. But he had a nightclub, Star 69. You know what I'm saying? And his right hand man, best friend Bill Marshall, you know, he was running it. You know, he definitely gave us a great opportunity to allow us to perform and open up, because they had so many concerts and so many different acts would come to Pensacola and they would perform at Roy Jones Jr. Club Star 69. And you know, I gotta salute Bill Marshall. You know, I'm talking about to this day, because he actually allowed us to have that platform to perform and get on stage with a lot of well-respected artists. You know, we opened up for Little Flip, Paul Wall, Bum B, Yin Yang Twins, Pastor Troy, 8-Ball MJG, Dirty Boys, a lot of acts. Trina, we opened up for Trina twice. A lot of acts, and a lot of people would see us get on stage and do our thing, and we practiced and rehearsed, and we gave them like that next level performances and shows, and we gave it our all on stage. A lot of people just be like, man, foul play go hard.
You know, and it's worse when you go and you rap these places. You got an open bar, and then you got people like, oh man, oh you Maine for foul play. Oh, you want a pill? Here.
A lot of the acts that we open for, you know, they'll bring their whole team. They bring their road managers, they bring their booking agents, they bring their promoters, they bring their managers, their security. So a lot of times when we're performing, opening up, you know, they'll look and they'll see us do our thing, and after we get off stage, they'll come holler at us, be like, man, y'all go hard. Y'all go harder than a lot of cats in the game now. Hey, if y'all like doing shows, or y'all doing shows, hey, I can get you to perform down here. I can get you to perform over there. So it really gave great networking opportunities to where we would meet a lot of people. So that time period at Star 69, opening up, for all those concerts, it was a great way for us to branch out and meet a lot of the industry heads, a lot of people in this music industry. It was an awesome opportunity. So I salute Bill Marshall. You get much respect.
But moving to Jacksonville, I continued rapping. I moved to Jacksonville, and that's when the cocaine started. Just experiment. I always hear people that I looked up to that I shouldn't look up to brag about cocaine a lot. Never tried it, but was curious about it. And then I took one blow, and it turned into a 13-year run.
Understanding the vices that he had to battle and drug addiction, that's something that I couldn't necessarily understand because I had never gone through it. But, I understood the implications of that. And so it was hard to see this man go through, and it was crazy because of the fact that this man actually did some amazing stuff, not on drugs.
Now, when I moved to Jacksonville and we started getting on drugs, I have 2 sons. My younger son, I see him all the time. I see him every day. About to get ready to go get him now in a little bit. Jaleel, I love him. Jaleel has an older brother named Jada. I haven't seen him since he's 3. He'd be 12 this year. I haven't seen him since he was 3. Drugs did that, His mom, I blame her a lot, but I have to blame myself first. I mean, let me tell you something about this drug thing, man. You can't put no Band-Aid on it. And when them scars heal, you still got scabs, you got wounds, It's hard to move on from it. You never do. But the biggest scar of all is my son. Yep, my oldest son. And like now, that decision of being coked up, drunk, going over, fighting with his mama. Now, his mama not the easiest person to get along with, but this ain't about her, it's about me and my actions. You can only control what you can control. You can't control another person. So I commend her for putting up with it as long as she did. But she put a restraining order on me on his behalf. Do I deserve it? Just based on the decision for me to be careless and get on drugs and go out of my mind, yeah, I deserve it.
We had our cousins, Jabril and Shaheed. They helped out with a lot of the logisticals aspects, a lot of the technical aspects. They helped with the artwork, the graphics. They helped with engineering, and they even helped with some of the production. You know what I'm saying? They didn't touch anything. They stayed 100% sober. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I drunk. You know what I'm talking about? I drunk alcohol. I was a drinker. Most of the crew drunk and smoked weed. Some graduated to drink a little lean, pop pills, and then there was a few that dabbled in cocaine. But that cocaine was the ceiling, and Jermaine was one of those that dabbled. I don't want people to think, foul play was just on some irresponsible, crazy mayhem. No, we was well disciplined. We was grinding. It was a business. It was a business structure. But within that structure, we did enjoy ourselves.
I mean, like I say, man, you get out on these drugs, man, you get out your mind, man. You get out your damn mind. You forget. You just numb to it of what you have done. And now me being 2 years sober, I sit back and think, like, sometimes stuff just hit me, like, I'll be like, oh, shit. I'll be like, shoot, man, I can't believe I did that.
Hey, man, look, this man think of Pensacola, Escambia County, yeah. It's exhilarating when I exhibit that I'm on the pillage exotic. Them hoes show experience off hypnotic. Open my X-file, my example deserves a smile. I feel that tingling sensation, yeah, I'm rolling now. Call me Professor X, I leave them vexed, they begging for sex. I'm on the specs, I got them wet, and now you knowin' what's next. Exonerating niggas hating, I leave them with their frustration. My album coming real soon, yeah, I feel anticipation. Now maybe it's just my X-ray. Fuck what the rest say. I be on them real deals, that's why they hate me. See, I'm on that X factor, some call it their X-Force. Show me to the exit, cause it's time to play them X-Sports. Or should I say them X-Games, hoes wanna exchange. I throw them my number, so you can call that a bet, man. I be down in XO when I'm with my ex-ho. Yeah, she still around, cause that hoe won't let go. Yeah, that shit extraordinary, ain't no extraordinary. I command the military, gonna call it legendary. I extend and recommend them triple stats, go tell a friend, no daydreaming, I don't pretend. Thicker nigga, comprehend.
You know, sometimes I get in the mood where, like, I be on 295 driving. Sometimes the car just drive itself, you know. But you gotta stay strong, man. I'm a survivor. I survived it. But I gotta get my son back. You know, that hurts. That's the dark days of Maine, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Those are the days you ain't really proud of, you know.
During that time when he came back, he was a different person. It was affecting him making music. It was affecting his life. You know, it had a grip on him to even to the extent that our Foul Play Underground, he was that project, which was supposed to have been our takeoff album in the city. It was an awesome album, and he was a part of it, but he wasn't a part of it. Like, if you knew Maine, if you knew Jermaine like we knew him, he was supposed to have been all on that project. He wasn't on that project like he was supposed to, and his habit, fighting his demons, was a part of that process. So it was a struggle, you know, that he had working on when he came back from Jacksonville. You know, when he came back from Duval, yeah, he had those demons, and we all was trying to work with it and cope and manage with it, but it was getting the best of him at that time.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm thankful for the family I got, because it would have been easy giving up for me. For all my cousins, uncles, brother, sister, grandmother, mother, I put the family through pure hell, man. You know, one thing about getting in trouble, which drugs is trouble. When you put yourself in trouble, you drag everybody you love into that trouble. So, like, they never gave up on me.
Sensei OZ myself dropped the first music video, Stay So Shy. But, you know, I'm talking about right behind it was Maine. He came out. He was all on this conscious level. He was, you know, because we all admired Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and he dropped this single. It was called Eyes on the Prize.
I got the soul of Malcolm X and a bite of Huey Newton, the brains of WEB. I know what I'm doing. I got the truth of sojourn, speed like Jackie Jordan, like the Tuskegee Airman. Look, I'm quick to bomb. That's what I should lay down the law like third good, like Geronimo Pratt. I think I'm misunderstood. I got the heart of that turn, the skills of Stevie Wonder, hands of Ali that'll lead your way on.
We're the ones who have our skulls crushed, not by the Ku Klux Klan, but by police.
And he was saluting all the civil rights legends and all the people in general in Black history that made a difference. So Eyes on the Prize was an amazing music video. And then, you know, if you know Maine, if he do one thing, he's gonna do 1,000 things. And he once he is marked, set, go, you know, he's that track star. He's off. And then that's what he did with music videos. So he started dropping single after single after single.
Ain't think of foul play, invaded rush, let's go. I'm a showstopper, shoot game proper. Take a look off in my closet, looking like a foot locker. Staying sharp is a job, and these niggas unemployed. See my shit they can't afford, so them niggas get ignored.
Get real.
Get real. Them niggas ain't live where I live. They ain't walk what I walk, so you can talk. Send out the fucker, get real. Them niggas just a sloppy carbon copy. Instead of trying to job me, you should get back on your hobby. Get real. Them niggas ain't live where I live. They ain't walk what I walk, so you can talk. Motherfucker, get real. Them niggas just a sloppy carbon copy. Instead of trying to job me, you should get back on your hobby.
Had enough.
I'm no longer understated, no longer underrated. it. I've been holding my tongue and that's no longer tolerated. My game is elevated, yeah, I'm shitting on you niggas. It's bigger to go get her. I'm running with gorillas at the point of no return. Bitch, I'm standing firm. I'm commissioner ballin' like my name is David Stern. And the niggas riding with me with simply bustin' is empty. My fan base is growing from Sydney over the Tippy. Had a bitch who was down with me, was nothing like Bobby Whitney. More like Robin and Tyson. The bitch no longer enticing. Know nothing about sacrifice. It was here for the payoff. Money coming in bundles, now that bitch just laid off. Ooh, now
Just Like Me.
yeah, you ain't gotta like me, but I got a lot of niggas strapped just like me. Nah, and that bitch don't excite me. I got a lot of hoes that wanna one night me. Yeah, and that's more than likely. Pull it off the rack and never ask what the price be. Nah, I never play the game low key. Got the whole club trying to be just like me.
We all clicked up and did Southern originals.
Authentic, never counterfeit. Best, we've been doing this. Got beats from Perry on back in 96. Grind hard, present day, who run this shit?
I see you low funds. Yeah, out here counting ones. My shit on steroids.
Hey, what they call that?
Barry Bonds.
Okay.
I'm swinging for the fence. You can check my RBI. Try to tell the FBI I kill you for you testify. It's the FOUL. If you blind to the fact, you can read it the braille. Yeah, they talking big shit. I don't bother to sell. When I start dropping shells, they pat the bed.
So once Maine started really shooting music videos, he went video after video after video. You know Maine get passionate and he get to working. You know, that's one thing he do. He definitely grind. So he took off there.
Maine the Baptist. I tell you, since day one, I always admired him. You know what I'm saying? It was always something. You know what I mean? And I can remember me and him in the trenches, you know, many times. You know what I'm saying? And he always would pull me. The first time I really met him, it was based on music, and we grew from there. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like he had something to say.
Oh yeah, you know, being an activist, like I said earlier, Malcolm X, you gotta love that guy, man. Muslim, whatever. Throw religion out the man was a man's man, and you know that's something that the things that he said still holds true, and this struck me at a young age. This is how young of an activist I was. It's funny. Look at me, I had the suspenders, box fade. But this right here is a painting of all the black leaders. And I named every single one of them. And I won this original painting. And this is around the time when I started reading Malcolm X. And that turned into a whole thing for me. The injustice. See, what makes me good also has a downside to me. But I'm so passionate about what I'm passionate about. Injustice, inequality, things that's not right, black, white, Muslim, Jew, Christian, whatever. If you are being discriminated against, if you have things coming at you that's unjust, unfair, like, you best believe I'm on my way. Like, my thing is this. I love my city, Pensacola, Florida. I love my people. I'm proud to be African American, black, whatever you want to call it. I'm proud to be a Christian. I'm proud to be a follower of Jesus. And I'm proud to be a human being. You come against any of those things, I'm right there. That was someone is oppressed, no one is free. And to me, I'll never be free until I'm in heaven. So while I'm here, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight hard. There was a historic group, a civil rights group in Pensacola called Movement for Change. Leroy Boyd is the late great Leroy Boyd. Statue in Pensacola should be coming on the way soon, but they have things in his name. I learned underneath him. And they invited me to do their keynote speech at the Freedom is Not Free banquet. And it was the last campaign stop in 2012. And everybody who was running for something was there. And they made a big mistake for showing up, because I let them have it. I mean, I fired off. And that video went like somewhat viral in Pensacola.
We have a mayor who comes to us and begs for our vote, gets in office, and he ignores us. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. He doesn't ignore us. He forgets about us. To say he ignores us means that he hears us and pays us no mind, but clearly he isn't thinking about us. But you can't blame him. We're the political chumps. You run out, you vote, you pat yourself on the back. You fulfilled your constitutional duty. But when it's time to fulfill your community duty, to hold these politicians accountable, you're nowhere to be found.
And that just plateaued me to some big, you know. Then that's when everybody like, why don't you run for something? Why don't you run for something? Then I start becoming like the one-man go-to guy to get some injustice done around the city.
And as you look around, you see black and white. This is not a black problem, it's not a white problem. It's not a civil rights problem, it's a human rights problem.
Yeah, I mean, like my activism role is just as strong as the music. And my book, My Brother, the Devil and Me, I'm really proud of it. It's available on Amazon if you guys want to go get it. It's a great story. It's a fictional story on the Book of Revelations. I remember I was working here in Jacksonville. I wasn't doing no music. You know, here's the thing, man. When I was on drugs, I still prayed. I still attempted to fast. I would go to church high as you know what. And, you know, sometimes God will penetrate through the drugs and alcohol. Like he told me to write my first novel. God know what to hit me. You know, if you want to hit me, I'm a prideful guy at times. You hit my reputation. So, now to hear that, I ducked off, wrote the book, was sober during that time, came back. Once the book was out, went right back into doing my thing, you know. And that's how God operate. God like, okay, let me give him a little time, do his thing, I guess. But fast forward to 2015. Yep, 2015. If you know me, you know there's no bigger Florida State fan than me. At this time, we done beat the Florida Gators in football, I think 2-3 times in a row, something. I mean, like we killed them. Like we becoming normal. And I was like, out of the blue that day, I had a check in the mail for $200. I still don't know exactly where it came from. And so I went and got me some beer and I got some Coke. And I called myself celebrating. My grandma was visiting in Jacksonville, my aunt, my mom was here. I said, okay, I'm just gonna get this 12-pack. I'm gonna get this dub, $20 worth of cocaine, and I'm gonna chill. So I ain't even gotta tell you, you know, that hours later, 12 more beers, bottle of gin, about 8 ball later of coke. I don't even know how I came up with the money for that. I'm still on it. And I just became disgusted. So I'm laying in bed, I was like, okay, I'm about to kill myself. I said it a lot, meant it a lot, but this time it felt different. And I got my homeboy number, T Green. It's crazy because I worked at this place, and he came with a church account to pick up some things. And I was like, hey man, you know, I'm looking for, I ain't got no church home here. He gave me his number. The crazy thing about it was when he came to pick me up, I called him that morning. You know, I was like, hey man, if you don't come pick me up, it happened to be a Sunday. If you don't come pick me up and go to church, I'm gonna be dead. And before, he didn't recognize me, I didn't recognize him. He came here to work on our air conditioning because he does that, that's his own business. And then he was like, man, you know, hey, I was just at your house, whatever. But we went to church.
It was a Saturday night. He called me. And he was just sounding like real down. But it wasn't a down sounding like, man, I can't make it. It's like, I'm tired. So he told me, he said, man, please just come and get me. When I get here, when he told me where it's at, I'm pulling up to get him. And I'm like, man, I've met you before. I had actually done work for his mom and him maybe a few months earlier, because I do AC work as well. You know, we hop in the car, I'm telling him about it. And in the spirit, man, he told me, he said, man, I've been getting high all night, man. And I said, bro, it's gonna be all right. Man, we went in church. It was just crazy because music was playing and it was just something about it. Me and him standing right next to each other and we worshiping. And man, he had a worship and a praise in the spirit so heavy, so strong, what some folks been in church for years didn't even have. And I felt the realness in it. And ever since then, man, we've been like connected.
So I'm sitting there soaking, my head down, and this never happened to me. I never heard God's voice ever before in life, and I hear God say, if you want to be done. Now, I done went to inpatient rehab, stayed there for 3 months. I done tried everything to get clean. And I heard God say, if you want to be done with this forever, you have to get up and you have to praise me like you never did before. Just like how I said it to you, it's just like how I heard it. And when I heard that, I jumped up 3 straight songs. I was sitting in the front of the church, not like, you know, like it was the pulpit right here, the people would sit right here. I was sitting on the front and the side. Like I was finna get up and speak or something. I don't even know what I was doing there. But now looking back on it, I see, you know, it meant even more because everybody had to see me. So God wanted to see, you know, how great this reward's gonna be. And I got up and I praised him, man. That's been 2 years ago. No cocaine, no alcohol, sober.
To see him write a book, to see him just to see his mind as an activist, to see how smart he was and how conscious he was, but at the same time fighting these battles, internal conflict. It was amazing to see somebody to do what he's done in fighting that. And so now that this man has been sober for 2+ years now, you know, I just see that this man has there's nothing in the world that could stop him.
I remember we would flow every day, every time we meet, you know what I'm saying, we'll flow. And then he drifted from it, you know what I'm saying? He drifted away from it. I used to tell him, brother, get back on it. Like, nah, man, that ain't me. I ain't trying to get back on it. I say, what's up? I say, man, the only time I'm gonna get back on it if God came down himself and told me to start rapping.
I decided I was gonna go to preaching, and at that church they had a ministry school to learn how to be a minister. But something happened. I applied for a job 1.5 years earlier, working out in Texas. They called at the wrong time, so I thought. And I was like, man, I got my life together. I'm banging, doing good, doing clean. I done already gave two sermons. I said, man, I don't want to leave. I prayed on it. God said, you gotta go. And it was out there in the desert, you know. I don't like to liken myself to Moses or nothing, but before he freed the people of Israel, he had to go out in the desert for a while. So that's what I did. And I was working at this place. I was taking the trash out. Then God came to me. The last time I heard him, clear as day as I'm talking to you, he said, I need you to come back and rap, but this time for me. I stopped, I put that trash down. I called my cousin Damien. I was like, hey, Damien, God just spoke to me. He said he wanted me to come back and rap. You know, Damien, he think things out. He like, hey man, calm down, think about it. You know, he started going in that spirit. I said, all right, call you back. And I called, I got the phone with him. I called Evil G. Look, I need you. You know, I ain't going to spirit with G because Evil G is a man of few words. He don't want to hear a lot of words. If I say I need you, He did. So, and he delivered. Came out with Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen. 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 It goes Father, Son, Holy Spirit, please guide me. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, please guide me. Yeah. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Then the songs just kept rolling, kept rolling, kept rolling.
Okay, now let me take you to a time not too long ago. Now doing shows and 9 to 5, going door to door. I had my eyes on God, and now that's understood. And, I've been riding this way. I've been riding this way. Say I've been riding this way. Everything you said is true. Since I gave my life to you, I've been riding this way. No wipeout, no surfboard. Can't look, serve my addiction, the fiction. I had to go the distance. I'm so persistent with God assistance. I'm so efficient. That cocaine turned Billie Jean. It is not my lover. Went from a fiend to high esteem. I got a praying mother.
Then next thing you know, at the top of 2017, I'm opening up the beginning of the year at a church in Lakeland, Florida.
2017,
Follow that up, I'm out of Las Vegas in March at the Stellar Awards. This is all not even a year of me rapping gospel.
ain't no need to live in the past, Jesus slave. Yeah, we talking about the King of Days. Can't you tell I'm in a different place? Everything you said is true. Since I gave my life to you, I've been riding this way. I've been riding this way. I've been riding this way.
Then do the Stellar Awards. Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta.
I'm Maine the Baptist. I'm from Pensacola, Florida. I came all the way up here to turn up for my guy. You understand? Yeah. Okay. Jesus say.
The Dove Awards in Nashville. Steeple Awards in Atlanta.
That cocaine for Billie Jean. It is not my lover. Went from a fiend to high esteem. I got a praying mother. Mistakes that make a break. Guaranteed I'ma make it shake. You watching me be great. I'm a pilot to section. They look. She was in the road. And I just benefit. Right now I'm innocent. I use that belligerent like
Apache in Atlanta.
I've been riding this way. Say I've been riding this way. Say I've been riding this way. Yeah, everything you said is true. Since I gave my life to you, say I've been riding this way.
Pensacola, came back home Pensacola at one of the prominent church at Little Rock. I mean, I'm on the run, baby. I'm like, boy, God is like, hey, he making up for lost time. So that's what it is. Came out with an album fittingly titled The Saving Me EP. Did very well. Now I'm working on the second album, and ain't even been 2 years.
I got to give it to Maine, because when Maine told me that, hey, I'm finna switch over and do gospel rap, I'm like, well, hey, if it's on your heart to do it, do it. Because I know gospel rap ain't hot. It ain't, when I say it ain't hot, it just ain't popping financially. The machine don't push gospel rap like that. So I'm like, if you going over there, hey, and it's on your heart, do it. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't just try and change his swagger and just change his image and start trying to do gospel stuff. No, he brought the hood with him. He stayed hood, he stayed grounded, he stayed gripped. You know, he from the streets of Pensacola, you know, and he brought that to gospel music. And then he brought the word to the streets, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people respect that, you know, about Maine, and that he made gospel rap respectable, cool for mainstream. You can listen to as much secular music as you want to, but you can have that Maine the Baptist CD in. And, you know, that's a hard thing to do. Everyone is not, you know, blessed to have that talent.
And so he showed me one of his old videos that he did a while ago. I'm like, boy, you raw. I'm like, man, bro, you gonna be rapping for God. He's like, no, T Green, man, I ain't. But right now today, he doing it for God, and I'm just thankful for whatever reason God placed me in his path. To be a brother to him, to be a friend to him. That, you know, just to see that dramatic change. And kind of make you feel good to know that you was a part of that.
I tell you this. If you can't take anything else from me, I would say that God is for real. God is for real. Jesus is real. You just gotta keep pushing, keep fighting. You think you down, you think it gets no better, you think you dead, you may be, but a resurrection is coming. I was dead, but I have resurrected. 2 years sober. I'm at the top of my game, working on my second book, working on my second album. I've been on stages in places that I have never been before. My music, God's music has brought me there. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta stay in that fight. Don't let nothing hold you down. Every day, keep God in the midst.
For us to walk into a club and for me just to see him grab a soda or water or something like that, you know, it's weird being the second sober guy in the club because I don't drink either. But, you know, that tells me that man's dedication. Once I literally saw him do that, walk into a club and not ask for a beer because that's what I was expecting for him to do, I knew that this man here, he's really serious about, he was serious about his change and his transformation.
Whatever you do, don't forget that God is with you. He has not forsaken you. He has not forgotten you. Keep pushing, keep fighting, because one day he going to come to you and say, it is time. This is your training ground. This ain't nothing but training for you. One day he going to come and say, okay, you ready. He going to test you one final time and tell you what to do, and he will come and speak to you like you never heard him before. And if you do it, you better buckle both of them seatbelts, because it's going to be a ride for your life, man, and you're going to love every minute of it, just like I am.
When you're dealing with the same circumstance with somebody, how easy is it for that person or anybody to separate themselves out of that and make sense out of the whole thing? Somebody has to do it. Every time me and him was out there partying, you know what I'm saying, had a couple drinks, he would separate himself from that. Even when I found it impossible to do, he'd separate himself from that and tell me something, you know, hey, get your mind, grab your mind. This ain't what it is. You got tomorrow, you know.
I don't know if it's a national chain, but they have a chain here where they sell alcohol. ABC Liquor and Spirits. Alcohol does have spirits in them, but there's no greater spirit than cocaine. You know, a lot of people, some people would say stuff like, oh, the drugs ain't make him do that. It had to be in him and the drugs brought it out. No. The drugs bring demons. You know, it bring demons, and them demons, they talk to you. And when the drugs is out your system, out your blood, those demons remain.
Making it a mission for him to build something that can sustain and give back to even the people that he's hurt over the years, I think it's important. And I think it's important for him to accomplish that. He's doing that through his music. He's accomplishing that through his music. So I want to be able to support this man any way possible.
So I think he's making his mark on the world. He got a lot more work to do, you know, making music, yeah, as far as being an activist and civil rights. He got a lot more work to do, but he's working, and he's grinding, and there's better things to come. And he know that his cousin, you know, fellow foul play member got his back. And it's gonna be a bright future.
Paul, before he was Paul the Great, wrote half the Bible. He was Saul. Murdered Christians left and right. You say Saul named Christians running. I mean, Saul was a tyrant, bloodthirsty, because he thought he was doing the will of Elohim, the God that had nothing to do with Jesus. And when he was on his way into Damascus to kill Peter, the chief apostle, the head of the early Christian church, post-Jesus, AD, and he was going there with soldiers, and on the road to Damascus, he was just knocked off his horse, blinded. And he looked and he said, "Who are you?" And Jesus said, "I'm Jesus who you persecute." Story goes on, you know, from him getting his sight back and things he had to do to get his sight back, sneaking out. Man, Paul done went through so much. Saul becoming Paul done went through so much. But the thing is, if you would have told some of them early Christians that was running from Saul that he was going to write half the Bible, and 2,000 some years later, we're celebrating Paul as one of the great theologians who has pushed forth the Christian agenda and the agenda of Jesus Christ, and the reason why we speak about Jesus is a lot through Paul's words, they wouldn't believe that. So if somebody tell you that you're going to do such and such and such, you're not going to believe it. But believe it. Because you're going to have those great moments. God going to knock you off on your horse. You just walking to Damascus. You just on your way to Damascus. So when he show up, don't hold on too tight to your horse, because you still going to fall. And when you ask who are you, you just be ready for Jesus' dance. And when he changed your life, man, it's great. It's great. My son. Everybody say, the new Jermaine. It's not the new Jermaine. Just like God, Jesus, turned Saul into Paul, I'm just Jermaine to Jermaine the Baptist. Maine the Baptist.
I had a change before I start praying at night. Things just stayed the same. So I had to change. Gave away the weed cocaine. God changed everything. So I had to change before I start praying at night. Things just stayed the same. So I had to change. Gave away the weed cocaine. God changed everything.